Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Paulina Moline, and I'm the Director of Alumni Engagement at St. Joseph's College. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today for Campus Connection St. Joseph's College History. Before we get started with this evening's program, I'd like to take a few moments to share some of our upcoming events, so we would definitely love to see you there. On November 19th, we are hosting the President's Tour on the West Coast with Hawaii and Alaska. And on December 4th, we are hosting a holiday family fun night featuring virtual visits with Santa. On December 10th, we are taking this on the road, virtually of course, and hosting SJCNY on the road alumni regional chats in the state of Georgia. On December 15th, we are hosting an evening of hope that will be featuring several sisters talking about this coming year and much, much more. For more information and to register, visit sjcny.edu/alumni and click on events. In addition to the events lineup that we have, we also launched a virtual book club. The book club has an online discussion board where participants may connect with book club members, and the book club will be selecting its next reading in the coming days, and that book reading will be getting started in January. They are currently starting to wrap up their reading and will be wrapping all of this up and connecting via a live Zoom on December 16th. All alumni, faculty, staff, sisters, and students are welcome to join the book club. We have also launched a new online platform this fall called SJCNY Connect. The platform is intended to be an opportunity for alumni and the SJC community to come together and network. There is a mentoring program within the platform. There are volunteer opportunities, yearbooks, much information, groups, and it continues to add more and more features. So it's definitely something that you want to take a look at. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Beth Policino Murphy, Executive Director of Libraries at St. Joseph's College. She has been with the college since January 2012. She is in charge of both McIntyre and Callahan libraries. Beth attended St. John's University for her BA, her MLS, and also her EDD. She started out as a K through 8th grade school librarian and also taught master's students to be librarians at SJU. Welcome, Beth.
Thank you, Paulina, and welcome to everybody. We're really excited with the turnout that we have tonight. Just to update alumni on the libraries, we are open. During COVID, we are open. We were closed for quite a while. We pivoted and switched a lot of things virtually, but we are open to students and faculty and staff. Each library is open 7 days a week, and we're really pleased about that. We rearranged a lot of furniture and shoved things in closets in order to make that happen. But it's been working out really well. And we do, for example, we close at 7 o'clock tonight, but we have librarians staffing the online reference and chat till 8:30. So things are going well at your respective college libraries. Whether you went to Patchogue since Callahan opened in the late 80s, or McIntyre in Brooklyn since 1965, they basically look the same. You look at some of the old pictures and the outside of each building and large parts of the inside look the same. And that's actually a testament to how well they're maintained and how nice they're kept. So you should be proud of your libraries. One thing that we're bringing you tonight is something that we're very excited about, and that's we've scanned a tremendous amount of material over the years, having nothing to do with COVID. We've scanned a tremendous amount of archival material, and that's how we got the pictures and the one video that I'll show later on. Anything we show you tonight, you will be able to access on the McIntyre archives page. So after the first presentation, when we come back on, I will show you how to do that, and I believe the links will be sent to you to find these materials. So if it's moving a little quickly, you will be able to look all these things up. We decided to show you only what you can access yourself. So I hope you enjoy taking a trip down memory lane. We did try to include photos, if we could find them, of some of the people who registered for this event, and we did really well until yesterday when we had an avalanche of late registrants. So but we did a good job in finding at least one picture of most of all of the people who registered early, and a few who registered more recently. But you'll see a lot of faculty who I hope you remember, and enjoy. Thanks for coming.
Well, good evening. I'd like to just join the good evenings. I'm Sister Nancy Gilchriest, and not only am I not an alum, but I'm also, in addition to being an alum, I'm a faculty member at St. Joseph's College. So it's with great delight that I join you this evening. I know for most of us, going to St. Joseph's College was a dream. Also the Bishop of Brooklyn, Charles E. McDonald. It was his dream, his wish, that there would be a day college for women in Brooklyn. And so on October 2nd, 1916, on the Feast of the Holy Angels, on Washington Avenue, the new St. Joseph's Day College was opened. And a quick 4 years later, here are the graduates of 1920. And here's a page from the first course catalog. This is really very interesting. So when you go to the library site, you can see all the things that you are going to enjoy looking at. But I'd like to highlight that the physical training in 1916 was floor work, aesthetic gymnastics, folk dances, games, and military tactics, all for the single price of $5. Some of our first esteemed alumni were Amalia Simonetti in the class of 20, and she was the first graduate of St. Joseph's College to become a doctor, and Grace Byrne, the class of 21, who was famous in her own right, and then she was also the mother of Sister Elizabeth Hill. Now, in case you say to yourself, was there life before Twitter? Of course there was. And in these days, in the 1920s, it was a diary. So we have a couple of passages from the diaries from 1921. It begins, "I love to dream." So that's our theme for tonight, the dreams of St. Joseph's College. And this student wrote saying that she thinks that the teachers thought their class, all they did was daydream. I'm here to tell you, it's not just from 1921. 1922, another dream happened when the basketball team won a great victory, 16-14. And they won, and there was great joy in St. Joseph's College. These lovely young women were one of the first alumni associate members from 1921 on the left and 1924 on the right. You would agree with me, I'm sure, that their hats are not to be missed, but so are their smiles. Speaking of smiles, here is a grand photo of the 50th anniversary class with Sister George Ackerman in the back, the class of 1923 in 1973. Here's a postcard of the convent and the college when it was moved over to Clinton Avenue. It's the buildings we know and love, a place we would all call home. Here's a nice photo of the junior prom in 1934. And on the right corner is the prom committee. And from the turnout, you can tell that it really was a dream come true because many people came. On the left, we have the Undergraduate Association from 1938-39. And on the right, perhaps a dream is what they were wearing underneath their graduation gowns with all sorts of sports. Here's a dream for every teacher to see all of her students or his students busy at work in the library at Lorenzo Hall. And one of the best things about St. Joseph's College, I always say, is investiture. So here's a photo from 1939 for freshman investiture. Here's a junior prom class of 1943. And I don't know about you, but it looks like a Broadway musical, just waiting to happen. Just waiting to happen. Speaking of Broadway, here's our first celebrity we'd like to highlight tonight, and it's Sister Mary Florence, who is a graduate of St. Joseph's College, class of 1946. And here she is as a graduate, then as she's advising, as she's teaching, and now in a most recent photo where she continues to be a blessing to all of us, wherever she is. Here is a great group of St. Joseph's College students ready to put their best foot forward. And here's a picture of one of our people participating tonight, Marion Murtha. We're glad to have you with us. Marion was a history education major, but it's interesting that you also list, Marion, that you were on the Parents' Day Entertainment Committee. That would be interesting to find out exactly what that meant. Here's another celebrity for us, Sister Margaret Buckley, a graduate of 1955 from St. Joseph's College. So we have her graduation picture. The second picture is Sister Margaret as dean and teacher, and I had the privilege of having Sister Margaret as a teacher when I was a student in the education program. Sister Margaret at a commencement event on the Dillon Mall, and of course, Sister Margaret now always being a great presence to whomever she meets. Joan Reardon is also with us tonight, and that's great. So it's a nice picture of you, Joan, as you were a member of Delta Epsilon Sigma Honor Society, and also the vice president of Chapel Players. Chapel Players was a great group. It was a theater group, and its best play was The Man Who Came to Dinner. I was told to say that. But here's a really nice picture of Joan Reardon because it's a photo of some graduates and their mothers who are also alum. So Joan is in the center with her mom, Eleanor Dolan Reardon, class of 26. And here's a nice picture of Joan Catherine Siebert, child study and biology, and she was the president of the Child Study Club. Speaking of child study, before the Dillon Center was created, the children were educated. There was preschool opportunities in the basement of 245. Here's a parent-daughter communion breakfast from 1957. It's quite a group, but to me, it's an awful lot of pancakes and fruit cups. Here's senior formal class day. This is a lovely photo of Sister John Baptist at investiture. Again, one of my favorite traditions of St. Joseph's College. This is a 1959 photo of the junior banquet at the Waldorf Astoria. They look ready to paint the town. Suzanne Triner is with us tonight, an English and history major, and also the chairperson of the examinations committee. That sounds like a formidable task, but I'm sure Suzanne was up to the challenge. Here's a picture from the folk group, and I don't know about you, but I think the next performance would be dueling pianos. And Ellen Thayer joins us tonight, and she studied math and psychology, which really should be no surprise because a lot of people think you'd have to be crazy to study math. I can say that because I was a math major also. We move to the 1960s, and here's another celebrity, Carol Jean Hayes, better known as Doc Hayes to all of us who have gone to the Brooklyn campus and the Patchogue campus. So here's Carol Jean Hayes' graduation picture. In the center, it's a photo from the 1983 yearbook, and present day, Doc Hayes is still helping students. Here are two students working on a math problem. I think it is using the pocket-sized slide rule that's on the table. Elizabeth Teresa Williams is with us tonight, a member of Sigma Iota Chi, and studied psychology and biology. There needs no introduction for these photos. This is our dear Sister Elizabeth Hill. And these are the best photos that we have as she celebrates her commencement, as well as her mom, Hoodsfer. Her dear mom, as a graduate, Grace Burnhill, is so proud to celebrate her daughter's graduation, Sister Elizabeth. Soup's on in the cafeteria at Lorenzo Hall. It must be good because the line is very long. Another celebrity is Sister George Ackerman O'Connor. We have several photos here, Sister George on the left from a 1958 yearbook, and throughout her career at St. Joseph's College, she indeed was not only a dreamer, but making the dreams a reality. St. Joseph's College would not be what it is and where it is without the inspiration and the dedication of Sister George Ackerman. Sister George was the president when I was a student. Here's the reference library. Speaking of libraries, here are some artistic renditions of the Magenta Hall planned library. This was another dream that was realized, and here's the groundbreaking ceremony. Here's the construction, and it happened in a very short amount of time. It's really quite amazing. Here's the movement of the materials and the books from Lorenzo Hall and stacking the shelves into Magentaggart. And of course, here's Bishop Magentaggart himself blessing the new building and wishing all the present and future students well. It was very popular because here's the checkout desk in the library. And in addition to the library being moved from Lorenzo Hall, the cafeteria was also moved from Lorenzo to Magentaggart. So the picture on the right is a picture of the cafeteria in Magentaggart Hall. Another dream that was realized was the Dillon Center. So on the left is the artist's rendition. In the bottom right is the construction. And of course, in the center picture is Sister Vincent Therese at the dedication of the Dillon Center. These next photos need no explanation because it just represents the magic that happens at the Dillon Center. There's also magic that happened in the science labs at St. Joseph's College. And here's another opportunity for the women in 1965 to get dressed up on formal senior class day. The 1960s also brought the World's Fair. 1964, the World's Fair came to New York, and our very own Monsignor Raymond Leonard from the Religious Studies Department was the coordinator of the Vatican Pavilion. He's the fourth gentleman on the right. Another celebrity is Sister Virginia Therese Callahan, a marvelous chemistry teacher and a marvelous administrator of St. Joseph's College. And here are the various iterations of how we knew Sister Virginia Therese. On the 50th anniversary of St. Joseph's College in 1966, there was a mass of celebration with Bishop Magentaggart on the left. This mass was at St. Joseph's Church in Pacific Street. And on the right, there were some women who were honored from the original graduating class. The 1970s brought about another great group of freshmen, and here's freshman orientation on the Dillon Mall. These are nice pictures of Sister Marie Clotilde from 1957 on the left, and there she is at an open house, delighting a potential student and her parents at the wonders of science. And then in 1968, a picture of Sister Marie Clotilde giving a lecture. Kathleen Margaret Murphy has joined us also tonight, and she was a speech and child study major and also participated in chapel players. Modern dance, what more can be said? Mary Elizabeth Devlin also joins us tonight, and she was child study and math, and she also worked on Footprints, the yearbook. So we have gratitude to Mary Elizabeth, as well as all those who worked on the yearbook throughout the ages. So we have some of these photos to share tonight. Claire Eileen Collins was a history social science major and an active member of political affairs and international relations clubs, and she's with us tonight, and we're delighted you came. Roseanne Catherine Quinn was a French and English major and a member of the French Club. So it's great that you came too. Speaking of coming, here's a picture of St. Joseph's College for women going to Europe. It's just like when we leave now, right? But you do get the travel bags, so that's nice. An exciting time, I'm sure. Sister Vincent Therese Toohey always smiled when she was with her students, her girls. So these are lovely pictures of Sister Vincent Therese. St. Joseph's College and St. Patrick's Day Parade are one and the same. So for years, St. Joseph's has been marching in the parade. I did it twice and it was great fun. Here are some nice photos of Sister Grace Maria teaching in 1968 and then visiting with some alumni on the right. We're glad that Maria Catherine Falconetti and Lois Fitzpatrick could join us tonight. Wheelbarrow racing, after this event tonight, we'll be doing that out on the mall, so feel free to join us. Janet Labuda also is with us tonight, the class of 1974, and a history education major. A slideshow about the history of St. Joseph's would not be complete without some pictures of the wonderful gym of the past. So here's a basketball team on the left and the cheerleaders on the right, but we'd like to take special note of the real cheerleaders who are the sisters in the balcony. How could you lose with them rooting for you, right? Catherine Liberatore is here with us tonight, so that's great. Catherine studied mathematics and theology, and for some people, they don't have a prayer when it comes to math, so it seemed like a good fit. Here's a lecture hall in the 1970s. Catherine Smallman is with us tonight, and here she's part of one of the clubs she participated in with Sister Teresa Avila as the moderator. Modern dance. Sister Joan Reardon. Sister Joan Reardon was a wonderful presence to both campuses, both Brooklyn and Patchogue. And here are some lovely photos, Sister in the yearbook photo, and then assisting a student, guiding her, giving her advice, and a later picture of Sister John. In all things, Sister John was a teacher to all of us. Rana Fite was a Spanish education major, and here's a great photo of Rana and part of one of the clubs that she was a part of at St. Joseph's College. If you look in the back, the fellow with the beard is our own Mike McGran in charge of security. He's the nowadays Mr. Farrell. Sister Teresa Avila, the many faces, the many jobs, the many loves of Sister Teresa Avila. She was always there for the students in her ways of being a history professor, but also when I was at St. Joseph's College, the Dean of Students. Carol Walsh is with us tonight. Child study and psychology were her areas of interest, and she served on the yearbook staff, and here's a picture of Carol and the yearbook staff. Sister Pat Dittmer, a graduate of St. Joseph's College, who has for her entire life given her talents and instilled the dreams of the young children in Dillon Center. We are very grateful for Sister Pat. Linda D'Amata and Teresa Yard are also with us tonight, so we're glad you could join us. This was a surprise. It only appeared, this slide appeared just in the last hour and a half, so here I am as a student and then also as a faculty member. Sister Grace Edna has provided a lot of dreams to come true in her dedication to the Claire Rose Playhouse out on Long Island. She's amazing. Tony Delia has joined us also tonight, and I just captures St. Joseph's in her reflections. Oh, St. Joseph's, you surely will be missed. It's not just a diploma, it's a degree, it's a lifetime of knowledge, it's the feeling of joy. Yes, we did it, and we did it the right way. A dream come true. Right, Tony? Here are other dreams, Sister Elizabeth and Dr. Tom Travis with the graduate on a happy commencement day. Other members of the Sisters of St. Joseph who have contributed to the dreams of the young people who have come to St. Joseph, Sister Miriam Honora, Sister Jean Marie, Sister Helen Carney, who not just in her work at the Child Study and Dillon Center, but also as president of the Sisters of St. Joseph, has always supported St. Joseph's College. Sister Alice Francis Young. It would not be complete without having some pictures of Sister Alice, who gave her life and wisdom and joy to the children at the Dillon Center. And on the right, she's pictured playing the piano with Sister Leonie Cook and Sister Margaret Louise Shade, also amazing Sisters of St. Joseph. Speaking of amazing Sisters of St. Joseph, here is our own Sister Loretta McGran, who just is always engaging others to help them fulfill their dreams. Where would many of us be without Sister Loretta? And Sister Mary Meyer with her brilliance and her compassion in the field of chemistry. Speaking of dreams, in 1969, a dream came true by making St. Joseph's College for Women co-ed. And so this is Sister Georgia Ackerman in the center of the photo on the day of the TV coverage when the college went co-ed. Here are some other faculty members who have served St. Joseph's for a number of years to help students fulfill their dreams: Tom Petriano, Dr. Holtzman, Father Frank, Ray D'Angelo, and Bill Bankston. Now here is my dream team. Speaking of dreams, this is my dream team: Sister Mary Florence, Sister Elizabeth Hill, Sister Loretta, Sister Margaret Buckley, and Sister John Raymond. And one of the most recent dreams that we've had at St. Joseph's College with great dreamers themselves is the Hill Center. So we have the Hill Center, where athletic dreams can be fulfilled, thanks to Sister Elizabeth Hill, and named after her mother, who was one of the best dreamers there was. Thank you very much.
The point where I'm going to show you, take you on a little tour of how you can access the photos and yearbooks and other features that we showed you. And the link to this site, it's McIntaggart Hall Library Archives, and it's our featured collections. So what happens when you click on this link that, again, will be sent to you, is you see a number of different things here. If you'd like to look at, unless you've kept them, alumnograms going back 1950 to 2003. If you'd like to look at the Laurea, editions of the Laurea, you can look at them here. They have the dates. If you're interested in newspaper, the college magazine that's been coming out since 2003, I guess replaced the alumnogram, and the 245, 155 newsletter. All of them can be clicked here under SJC Publications. If you're interested in your yearbook, yearbooks have had different names over the years, but let's say you're looking for the Brooklyn Footprints yearbook, you go back here, and if you look, just pull down, click more, and these are all the years. For some reason, there was no yearbook in 27, but other than that, we have them here. So let's say you're interested in 1956, you just click on that, apply your filters. Here's the 56 book, just double click, and you got your cover, and you're in. Look at the book, the dedication, and eventually make your way to the seniors. So that's what a lot of you would like to see, the seniors, the clubs, the activities. You can enlarge this, but then you don't really always see the whole page. So just play with it and you will see the pages. That's how we got many of these photos as we went through the yearbooks. And again, depending on where you were, I mean, Achievements was the professional and adult program. The time that they were in 4 years in Brentwood was called Reflections. So just click around there. And the really one of the really big things is the photograph collection. It's got over 3,000 photographs. And you can just start looking through. These are not arranged in any particular order, but you know, you can see clubs and committees. This is where we got like the library groundbreaking. The yearbook portraits are here. Some of them. What's nice is these are like original scans, not like it's taken from the yearbook. Alumni and their careers. You'll see this is a picture we just had on. Some of the pictures of the library. And there's a number of different pages here. So as you click around, you'll see all sorts of things, student publications, the founding sisters, lots about Dillon, sports teams, sisters, student life, phonathons, you name it. So that's where you can find the pictures. All right. And again, there are over 3,000. One thing I'd like to show you here is we do have 3D objects. We have some St. Joe's memorabilia, things that have been donated over the years. One that I think is particularly nice. This was sent to the sisters by Bishop McDonnell, I guess for Easter, April 1st, 1899. It's just nice to look at some of these. And this is not the, it's an award for Sister George Ackerman. We have the free version, so you have to wait 5 seconds for this to scroll through. Maybe someday we'll hit it rich and we'll get that. But there's pennants and all sorts of things that people have donated. I'll go back to the album. Yeah, there's plenty of those things. One thing this up on the right-hand corner, really very special. The library in Brooklyn has done a series called Voices of SJC, and this started during the centennial. They decided that they would like to interview people who've been affiliated with the college for a very, very long time and get their take on some things. And so some of the folks we had highlighted just before are in here. Here's Sister Elizabeth with Sister Loretta. Sister Loretta, she's got her own show there. She's the only guest. But then Sister Helen Carney, Sister Mary Florence, some of the pictures we saw. And what you will get there is you can watch the video, but you'll also, if it's easier, you can also look at the transcript. What they do is the honor students then transcribe these interviews. And it just starts, happy to be here with you. It's really very nice because they go back and they make sure that it's a transcript that's easy to read. It was done 4/12/2017. And then from the day of the session with the students, there are still shots. That's the one we used in our show just a few minutes ago. So these are fun. You can learn a lot from these. That's the voices of SJC, and something some Brooklyn campus alums will really like. We're working on something for Patchogue, but this is a audio walking tour of the Brooklyn campus. Some really wonderful old buildings on the Brooklyn campus. And so I'm going to embarrass Sister Elizabeth here. I'm going to show hers. These are the parlors in Burns Hall. So Sister Elizabeth spoke about the parlors. And you can listen to that.
We were on Law and Order one time, and they wanted to use, maybe you probably have a clip of that, but Angela Lansbury and Antonio Banderas were the two stars. And they wanted to use this room as a courtroom. And I said, no. I said, because this is, we had a lot more sisters here at the time, and it would have been very disruptive because there were Sister Alice and Sister Corday and Sister Mary Winifred, in their 80s and 90s. And I just said, no, we can't do that. But they did use across the street the parlors, and they took out all of the furniture that we had there and brought in other, and it was Angela Lansbury's Upper East Side home. I said, oh, we live there. Oh, it's very nice. And Antonio Banderas, of course, was her son, and he was the murderer, but she didn't believe it, so she was trying to bribe everybody because it was from her list. But what they could do with a camera, when I saw the actual movie or the TV thing, they made those rooms look twice the size with the perspective. The way they used the camera, they just went deep and broad. It was amazing. And also we had the walls, basically this sort of neutral blah color. And they came and they painted them the gray that they are now. And when they leave, of course, they restore everything to exactly what it was. And they began to bring in the buckets of paint. I said, no. I said, we like the gray. When I said to them, I said, gray, who would ever paint? Well, but it was perfect. And they had that artistic sense that they knew what would work better. So that was a happy accident that we.
So thanks, Sister Elizabeth, for that little podcast. But what you can get is the all the information on any of the buildings that were featured there. The next thing I just want to make sure I show you is, no, not this one. We got a lot of tabs here. There's about this. I have to, oh, here it is. Timeline on the Dillon Center. This is something new that we got into, creating timelines, and it was because of the fact that the Dillon Center celebrated its anniversary. And so we're going to do this for more parts of the college buildings, facilities, campuses, but it's got clippings. And you can read about how it was named for Monsignor Dillon, who obviously really enjoyed stopping in there. And you can see, how the Dillon Center went through. It shows when Sister Helen Carney was appointed to replace Sister Louise. But one of the things we really love about this is we have footage from 1957 that you can see. It's not like today when we're all out with our phones. And I know they move outside where the lighting is better. And there's more at there's more there. One that I particularly like because of how I started my career is Sister reading to the little ones on the lawn. This is really nice. So you can tell they used it all the time. The kids were out in the snow. They went out for story time. It just looks like a really nice spring day. So we're hoping to get more things that we digitized as far as film goes up, but we started with Dillon because it had a special anniversary and we thought that would be really special. So right now we do have some things, but they're on a shared drive that are hard to get. So the final thing I want to show you, to move this thing here, is we're also on a site called New York Heritage. And this link will be sent to you too. New York Heritage is from New York State trying to combine all the different libraries that have great historical photos. And if you go into New York Heritage and you type St. Joseph's College, you see gray. Here we go. These are photos that have been uploaded. This is interesting, tells you the story of St. Joseph's Hall, how the priests had been living in parishes, and then in 1946 they made this 5-story building, and then how things changed. Now they're back to being other offices. So that's New York Heritage. We loaded those, and we also have an interesting collection that the Callahan Library has done of postcards, New York State. Those from Suffolk County would know that Dowling College closed, and they had an absolutely amazing postcard collection going back to the early 1900s. And we're scanning what was there. And you can look and you can see people writing postcards to each other. There's some of the places we know. This building's actually still there on Montauk Highway. So that's interesting too. And so the college archivists, librarians are also getting out into the community to share what we have. We don't like to leave it certainly leave it in the basement. All right, so thank you very much. Again, you'll be getting a recording of this and the links to find all these photos, and I hope you do enjoy them. Don't stay up too late looking at them. I find I do that a lot. Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, what an amazing look at SJC through the years. It was absolutely wonderful to see photos of so many of our guests included in the presentation, and that must have taken a lot of work, and it was just beautiful. Thank you for giving us a peek at the archives and all of the interesting images, videos, documents that can be accessed by the SJC community, and everyone will receive the links for being able to access the archives. We're so grateful to you, Sister Nancy and Beth, for sharing such a wealth of information and SJC history with us this evening, and of course for sharing the dream that is SJC. Thank you to everyone for being here today, and we look forward to hosting you at future events. Thanks again and have a great evening.
Thank you.